to push for Bob Turner, you want to send a message, you will never have an opportunity like you will have next Tuesday. Never. It happens once in a lifetime where your community sends a message directly to the President of the United States. Wow, what an opportunity. I am delighted to support Bob Turner for Congress in my district, and with God's help, that he be the next congressman to represent all the people of this district. Bob.
Hey guys.
And I just want to stress that I'm a very proud Democrat, but I'm not a blind Democrat. Never have been, never will be. And that means that there are times when you look at the other side of the aisle and you say, is this person going to be more effective? Does this person represent the values, that your values and the values of your community? And you simply cross the line. I call that being independent. Everyone in America loves people who are independent. The community that I represent, which is part of this district, this congressional district, and the people in the other parts of this district, they are probably the most independent voters you will meet in New York, because they are registered Democrats to a great extent, but they don't have any problem crossing the line when they think it's best for their community, their city, their state, and for their country. Bob Turner, getting to know him over the months, is just like what we call a real mensch, a real decent, fine person with the kind of experience that we need in Washington. He represents the values of our community, which is very, very important. And this election is one of those unprecedented type of elections. When do people in a community have an opportunity to send a message, as they can in this race? You know, when you have a lot of races and whatever happens, you know, people look at everything. One single race is happening next week, Tuesday, and the entire country is watching this race. The Democrats should win, right? That's what everybody says because there are so many Democrats. But that is not the case. This is an extremely close race. And I think we need to send a message to Washington and to the Obama administration. I got to tell you, we've held 3 job fairs in the last few months. People desperate for jobs, people with families who are sitting home. Their kids are watching their parents. The parents are not going to work. Things are literally out of control, and the people in Washington, and I'm speaking about the President of the United States, just doesn't get it. No clue, no concept, no idea. What an opportunity to send a message for this community to say, we are unhappy. We want to send Bob Turner to Washington. Bob Turner, whose entire life has been devoted to business, who understands how to create jobs, which is the most important thing. And with regard to the well-being of the state of Israel, there is no question that Barack Obama is someone that we in the Jewish community don't trust. I mean, he might be saying some of the right things right now, but we look back at his behavior. We look back at the way he treated the Prime Minister of Israel. He would not treat the leader of any country from some third world country when Netanyahu, the Prime Minister, came to Washington and he was brought in through the back, as if he was ashamed to be with the Prime Minister. I do not trust Barack Obama with regard to Israel, and I want to send a message, and this community wants to send a message, and you know what? The messenger is Bob Turner, because we're going to vote for Bob Turner, and with God's help, boy, is that going to be an earthquake. Next week, Tuesday night, after 9 o'clock, with God's help, Bob Turner is success. I want to tell you something else that bugs me about this race. My mother is in her 90s, Holocaust survivor, and I resent, as a Democrat, the code words that are used by people in my party. The code words of that Bob Turner is going to take away my mother's Social Security. You're going to take away my mother's Medicare. I resent that because it's not true. Bob Turner has made it very, very clear that is not what he wants to do. The President of the United States, Democrats and Republicans all admit that if we don't deal with Social Security and Medicare, my kids who are working right now are not going to be part of that system. The money is simply not going to be there. Everyone admits that you've got to deal with that problem. to accuse, to especially target senior citizens that Bob Turner is the boogeyman is absolutely outrageous. And the other issue, of course, Tea Party. I'm not exactly, I don't know too many Tea Party people, but as far as I'm concerned, and I know that Bob is not a member of a Tea Party, but I know that the people in the Tea Party are basically people who care about their community. They care about government. Are there people in the Tea Party that maybe are a little nutty? Yeah. Are there people in the Democratic Party on the left who are nuts? Absolutely. So this boogie thing, sending people Tea Party, that he is some evil guy, is just outrageous. And scaring senior citizens is absolutely wrong.
For many, this is an important referendum on Israel. This government, the Obama administration, has pursued a course that is antithetical to the interests of Israel. Here is an opportunity to send a message. It is Ed Koch's strategic vision. I hope it is part of your strategic vision on why a Republican has to be sent to Washington now at this time. Beyond these big issues, I haven't lost sight of the fact that this is for a representation of the 9th CD, the people in the district. They have needs in every area. They've not been represented for months now. They need someone who will pay attention to the issues big and small, and I promise to do that. I have a lot to learn. I intend to learn it. I intend to do it right. You can count on me to work and get that job done. As a businessman, I will approach things from a practical, nonpartisan way, simply to get the job done. And that is getting people back to work and restoring prosperity. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Dov. This is an honor, and it's more of an honor to be anointed a mensch. But it can only be anointed by an ubermensch. And thank you for that. This is a very important election, as you know, and people have crossed party lines. In the unusual nature of this campaign, as you know, I'm a Republican and a conservative, and I'm endorsed by Ed Koch and the Liberal Party, by Dov Hikind here in Brooklyn, and many others in Queens. People are crossing the line because they know the importance of this election. It's beyond the overarching issues of jobs and the economy. We're on the wrong track. People know it. They're not buying class warfare and political rhetoric. We need jobs, we need leadership, we need real opportunity. So far, we've seen nothing.
People don't trust Barack Obama. So what an opportunity to send a powerful message. By the way, not just to Barack Obama, to my fellow Democrats as well in Washington. Because we Democrats have a tendency, when it's a Republican president criticizing Israel, all the Democrats jump online to be at a press conference. But when it's the president of their own party, you got to go looking for them.
Well, I just clarify on David Wepper. Now, early in the campaign, I think when I asked him a question, he said he wouldn't say whether he was endorsing, we would support Barack Obama's re-election or not until like September 14th. Now he's saying he will. There's a lot of criticism, I guess, he's gotten for that. But he did say that he disagreed with, to be fair to Assemblyman Wepper, he did say he disagreed with President Obama's policy in regards to Israel.
If I say to Barack Obama, to President Obama, I don't care what you do with regard to Israel, I'm still going to support you. I'm going to vote for you. Mm-hmm. That says it all. What does it mean to criticize but still support that person? Do the ultimate. You know what? Having him re-elected so he can continue to undermine the well-being of Israel. Plain and simple. Makes no sense. It's a hell of a way to show support for Israel. I know David has been to Israel. He's been to Israel with me. Like I said, he's a nice guy. But we in this district need more than a nice guy.